They stole that ending from Gwenpool. They stole that. I know everyone's gonna say, no, there's a page where she argues with the writer of her own comic. The way they did this shit looks a lot like how Gwenpool does her powers. I am skeptical. I've also heard a rumor that Gwenpool might be in She-Hulk Season 2, so if that happens, I'm happy. Also, welcome to Disney Plus, pals. Wanted to start off with a little rant. So, I am joined by Cher and Jack, of course.
I'm back from my adventures LARPing.
I'm gonna ask, because it seems like the internet is very split on this episode. We're gonna go down the line. You don't have to give a number. You don't have to explain why. But we're gonna start with Jack. Jack, did you like this episode or did you dislike this episode?
I liked this episode.
Okay. Cher, did you like this episode or did you dislike this episode?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent. I honestly, I watched it twice. And I'm still confused.
Well,
what the heck what I just.
The good news is that means that we have all three perspectives here, because we have one person who liked it, one person who is kind of in the middle, and I didn't like it. I liked it at first, but then after a few weeks passed and I kind of sat on it and I thought about it and I was like, yeah, no, I kind of don't like that. I don't like that story decision. But we can talk about it and we can voice those opinions here while screaming and yelling at each other and, of course, firing weapons at each other.
Cannonballs are scary.
Cannonballs are scary, which is why only Jack gets to use them.
Cannonballs are pretty scary. I'm just telling you know. I went LARPing 2 weeks ago. Cannonballs are terrifying.
And unfortunately, probably don't have the range required for me to hit either of you from the UK, so you're lucky.
Oh,
well, yeah, but my sword's not going to do shit to you either, so we're kind of both at a standstill here.
Yeah. Cannonballs are scary. I pledged my allegiance to the Queen of the Dragon Army LARPing group. And and I became an honorary Viking. So yeah, I had a really fun time.
I predicted that our opinions would be different, so I already hired an assassin to kill you both. Unfortunately, the assassin was my cat. The good news is he did successfully kill somebody. The bad news is you were both in the show, so he didn't kill who I asked him to kill. That is something I will have to deal with later.
He brought you someone's spine. You don't know whose, but someone.
So if anyone out there is missing a spine, let me know. We'll get that back to you.
Yeah, I actually have 4 German Shepherds, so I think they'll probably might not like your cat, unfortunately.
My cat can take them.
Oh, don't you want to know my thoughts on episode 7 and 8 since I was MIA?
Yeah, can we get those real quick?
Please. For the sake of me doing scores and the maths.
Yeah. So, hello everybody. I'm back. I went LARPing the last time these guys were on Plus Pals. I now know LARPing is not a sex thing.
Hey.
And I experienced it. I couldn't find a LARPing group that my mom was trying to find her friend. I guess her friend was part of a LARPing group or whatever. I couldn't find them, but like I said, I pledged my allegiance to Queen Tarkus of the Dragon Army. It's like this really cool goth, like it's like really cool. It's like Game of Thrones and gothic, like steampunk. It was really awesome. So yeah, I took a picture with her. I became an honorary Viking. It was very hot, even though we're in October. Then again, I live in Sin City, so, you know. But anyways, I liked episode 7 more than episode 8, even though Daredevil was in episode 8. And are they an item? Are Matt and Jen together now? Is that part of the comments? I'm so confused.
What? I went to grab a soda real fast. I forgot my water and my throat was already screwing up. I'm sorry.
You didn't hear a single thing I said. Well, like I said, I liked episode 7 a little bit more than episode 8 just because of relatability. I can relate to episode 7 more than episode 8. I'm not a huge fan of Leapfrog. I thought Leapfrog was that one preschool game show, whatever. I swear, no, I'm not kidding. There used to be like this preschool thing called Leapfrog.
I know of Leapfrog.
I had Leapfrog.
I had a computer that wasn't a real computer, but it was Leapfrog themed.
Yeah.
The one I had was like, it was a book that you opened and you put a book into.
Right.
I had a cartridge, and then you put the pen across the words and it read it aloud.
Yeah.
I had
was
one
so
of those
disappointed my parents gave it away because one of the books I had was a Spider-Man one, and it was narrated by Stan Lee. I'm like, oh, that was such a key part of my childhood. Was my early childhood was Stan Lee reading me Spider-Man. I'm like,
Well,
Yeah, but anyways, I mean, like I said, Daredevil, he's finally in it for like an episode, and then a little bit of this episode. So
which I called that, by the way.
yes, you did.
Yep.
And then of course, Jen goes all rage at the end of episode 8, and then she gets arrested. So that sucks. But I knew, I had a feeling Todd was evil. I had a feeling in my gut that Todd was evil because he was a douchebag. But why is it always the cute guys, man? It's like Hans, and then that Como Stew from Monster High, which I actually think he's very attractive, by the way.
It's like I've always said, you can't trust pretty people, only date the ugly. That's how it works.
It was beauty that killed the beast.
I feel untrusted now.
Well, you are pretty cute.
Indeed, Jack is. That's why I don't trust him.
Yes. As you know, to quote King Kong, it was beauty that killed the beast.
When actually it was a plane. A plane killed King Kong. I hate that fucking quote. Everyone's like, oh, it's beauty that killed the beast. No, it was a plane that they torpedoed at him.
Oh, by the way, R.I.P. Angela Lansbury.
Yes.
That's Mrs. Potts. Another. Oh, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks. Oh, I love that movie too. We lost a lot of Disney people. We lost Gilbert Gottfried. We lost Pat Carroll. We lost Angela Lansbury. God, it feels.
But did you give your ratings, Cher? I didn't hear your numbers.
Oh no, I was rambling like I usually do.
That is fair.
No, I said no. I put episode 7 was 8, and then episode 8 was 7.5.
7.5.
I wonder where that puts episode 8, because we rated that pretty highly. Me and Jack did.
5. So quick update. That puts episode 7 at a 23 out of 30. And episode 8 at 7.5. 25.5 out of 30.
You guys think I can nonchalantly open a can without it making a sound? Nope.
No.
Fail.
I heard that across the Atlantic Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fuck. That's about as loud as something can get.
Krakatoa, Kanatoa.
Tamatoa.
He
Shine.
hasn't always been this glam. He was a drab little crab once.
Where's our prequel series about that, Disney?
Wait for the live action remake.
Oh,
You
God.
could literally call it Drab Little Crab.
Wait, I heard a Disney theory that Ursula is Tamatoa. I don't know how.
I'm
but
gonna
I
debunk
Because-
that.
Water.
I don't know. I saw it on the internet. Wait, was it the Callan brothers? I think it was the Callan brothers or something.
Yeah.
On the internet said something.
I love some Super Carlin Brothers, yeah.
I will say the same thing I say about game theory. Sometimes with Disney theories, they're incredible, and it seems almost impossible that this didn't happen. Other times, it's batshit, and they're just trying to get you to click on their thing.
Yep.
I'm not saying
Yeah.
that specifically about the Carlin brothers. I haven't watched their stuff.
It's been like forever since I watched their stuff, honestly. Well, anyways, episode 9.
Yeah, episode 9.
Is 9 a lucky number?
I don't know. I know 7 has been considered a lucky number.
8 is a lucky number according to China. And yeah.
I've heard third time's a charm, so I assume 3 is some sort of lucky number.
Well, yeah, there's a Schoolhouse Rock song called 3 is the magic number.
Lucky number 15. I've heard that said. I would say...
I wish 12 was a lucky number.
Well, Cher, if I were to tell you which number I think is the most lucky, it's got to be 12,758,622. That's probably the most lucky number. That or 69. Lol.
Nice.
What about 13 or 666?
Fuck 13. 666 has some merit, but fuck 13. Alright, She-Hulk. Watch me just...
Yeah, I think we rambled long enough to have lost all interest from people tuning in for the first time.
I don't know, man. I thought that was funny. I want to name the title of this, Fuck 13.
I'm usually the person that likes to ramble on random things, so sorry if the new people are like, why is she talking random crap?
It's okay. I'm a bit of a rambler. If we didn't have Jack's notes, we'd all be dead. It would be, welcome to the review show. Let's talk about Sonic the Hedgehog. Neil, it's She-Hulk. Sonic the Hedgehog.
Cuphead.
I don't know shit about Sonic. I don't know why that was my go-to.
That'd be a really fun podcast, though. Like, the titles and the premise have nothing to do with the actual discussion.
Cuphead.
Welcome to the Disney Plus centered podcast called Disney Plus Pals. Let us review, I don't know, something really random like
Cuphead.
Let's
Cuphead.
review Arcane from Netflix.
Cuphead.
Or Death Note.
Love Fetch.
Cuphead.
Arcane is so fucking good. Can we just review Arcane? Can we just throw out She-Hulk? I could do it. Episode
I
1
feel like
was
if we
good.
do, She-Hulk will climb out of our computers and beat the shit out of us.
Yeah, maybe not do that with a meta
I
character.
haven't watched Arcane, but after watching this episode, I might want to watch Arcane more than She-Hulk.
Do watch Arcane. It's a great show.
The only reason
it is objectively better than She-Hulk, yes.
The only reason why I know about Arcane is because of that Imagine Dragons song.
Although I would say that Arcane is objectively better than most things.
Yes.
Probably a lot of things.
I am happy to wait 6 years for season 2.
I'm not happy about it, but I'll do it.
Just gotta keep running up that hill.
Oh, Stranger
Thankfully,
Things
not
is great
6
too.
years for that.
Well,
Anyway.
let's dig into She-Hulk episode 9. Okay, I liked the intro. I liked what they were doing, but I want to be real. I want to ask, why?
Nostalgic purposes?
I'm just saying, what if, like, I have a theory about this episode. I think the intro where they recreated the old Hulk TV show, I think the original plan was when there's some meddling and some fourth wall breaking later. I think the original plan is She-Hulk was straight up going to rewrite her show, and that was going to be one of the jokes in it. But I feel like this episode was full of rewrites, and maybe there's like a meta reason for that as well. But
Sure.
I liked the intro. I loved how much they committed to it. I love seeing those visuals. But I still have the question of, why?
Yeah, I agree. I really liked the opening. Great we send up to it. But, like, see, I thought where you were going with this, I thought that this scene, this intro, perhaps was going to be at that point where the narrator starts talking later in the episode. And they do this intro and Jen, like, interrupts it. Something like that. That's I feel like that's perhaps how that was going to go. Otherwise, yeah, it's fun. It's really fun. Why is it here?
Well, here's the thing, and this is why I bring it up critically. I happen to be in a bit of a specific situation. I watched this with somebody who knows nothing about Hulk, She-Hulk, or anything, so they had no idea about the original series. So when they watched that, they were like, it's funny, but why? What's going on? Is this part of the story? And they were confused for the rest of the episode, to the point where I actually had to pause and be like, okay, I think that was just a funny reference. Here's what it's a reference to. Now we can move on. And
Sure.
I have to imagine that's the experience most viewers who didn't know the old TV show. I have to imagine that's how they felt about this.
I mean, maybe they're trying to do what they did with like WandaVision and kind of like play, kind of that.
I get
Whatever.
that. But
Yeah.
it was just kind of out of nowhere, though. Like, I didn't see it coming. Actually, fun fact, when I saw a clip from this in the trailer that came out around the time WandaVision was dropping, I actually had a theory that maybe this show was going to be, like, chronologically around the same time as WandaVision. Because those visuals did look kind of similar to, like, being trapped in a TV universe and stuff like that.
It was Agatha all along.
It could have secretly been Agatha. Who knows? But besides that, it was really well shot. It was really well put together. I just wish it would have been more
Sensible?
I guess I wish it would have been more important to the story, because it's literally just treated as, oh yeah, a dream sequence, and then they move on and nobody talks about it and it affects nothing. I get
So
what
now-
I get what they were going for, but for me it didn't really hit.
Okay, you're right, I forgot that it was a dream sequence. I was just in my head, I'm like, yeah, that was just the first scene and then the episode started. That was weird. Okay, yeah, it was a dream sequence, yeah.
Yeah, she wakes up. They at least did that.
That lets me write it off a bit more, because dreams.
I don't even think she says anything like, oh, I had a weird dream last night or anything. It's just there to be like, we're here, look at this reference, and then it moves on.
Yeah. I think, if anything, because this was fun, it was great. I think it perhaps would have worked better as the first scene of season 2. And it's a fun wee tribute, and then season 2 starts, here we go. Having it be right here is just a bit weird, yeah.
She-Hulk has like a meta line where she's like, is this what you guys wanted instead of CG? Is this what you wanted?
Yes.
It is kind of what I wanted.
Oh yeah, I remember one of my friends was talking and she was saying like she would have wished like someone else was She-Hulk and then they had, just Jen.
Me and Jack are in that boat too.
Yeah. We talked about that last
maybe
time.
Maybe like a WWE female as a She-Hulk, I don't know.
And that's what they did. They just painted an actor green for this, and it looked great.
At least she's defying gravity.
It looked a little comedic to me. Like,
Sure.
They clearly went with someone who was like extra buff.
Yes. I mean, Lou Ferrigno in the original, man.
Thick.
Yeah, no, I loved it though. Honestly, I don't know if I could take that specific actor seriously as She-Hulk, but I still campaign they should have just used a human.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I feel like I could spend hours going through each scene of that intro and being like, this is how cool it was. But that intro had to do with nothing, so let's just move past it.
Fair enough. Yep, Jen's in jail. She's in the same cell Blonsky was in. Yep, you can go free as long as you're wearing an inhibitor. Cool, just like what happened with Blonsky.
And you're fired.
Yeah, as a result of that, no longer She-Hulk, and probably as a bit of a response to the outburst, loses her job at JLKMH, moves back in with her parents, who again, her dad is so supportive.
I love her fucking dad so much.
Yeah.
I like how she had the Legally Blonde poster.
Agreed.
And
The musical was better than the film, but agreed.
I hardcore agree with you, Jack.
I love that movie. Just bend and snap. Good job.
Sorry, I was thinking of a certain song about Europeans for a minute. And getting a giggle.
So, those who know me know I was in a production of Legally Blonde earlier this year. I've got the program signed by the rest of the cast framed on my wall. And I was in Bend and Snap. I was Kiki the hairstylist, but I wasn't in Gay or European, and we were all just everyone was stood in the wings, just mouthing along to the song. Sorry, they're right there. The name of the song is "They're Right There." Gay or European.
I would kill to be in Gay or European. Like, I don't even need a line. Just let me dance.
Yeah, yeah. Loses the job, back with her parents.
Mm.
And then we get that, as I said, the narrator from the opening starts up, and Jen just shuts them down. No, we're not that far off the rails yet.
But we'll get there.
Yeah, we will.
I did love that joke. Because for a minute I was like, narration? That's weird. And then Jen immediately called it out as being like, exposing the fact that usually when studios add narration, it's because the story wasn't being understood by test audiences, so they added in narration to fix it. It was a funny reference.
Thought of that, but the first thing that went to my mind there is MCU narration. Is okay. There's, Iron Man 3, but that was the framing device. Thor: Love and Thunder.
I have not watched that movie because I still haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home.
They don't spoil anything for No Way Home in that if you want to watch Thor: Love and Thunder.
Yay! I can actually watch something. My dad wants to watch Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness so badly, and I'm like, no, we have to wait.
Ironically enough, they don't really spoil anything for Spider-Man in that either. They just mention they helped Spider-Man.
Oh.
Yeah, so you're okay with that being a spoiler, that they interacted with Spider-Man. That's literally the only one.
Yay, I can watch another Marvel movie without Spider-Man No Way Home, and then I can watch Black Panther Wakanda Forever. Woo!
I am actually starting to get really hyped for that. It is right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
And those trailers are so kick-ass. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
But, She-Hulk's trying to figure out who outed her. She's trying to take down the intelligentsia.
It was douchebags.
There was a picture of, like, a panda bear on her, like, her list of people she was tracking down. I thought that might be a reference to the comics, but it amuses me to inform you that there are no panda-themed supervillains. To my knowledge, I googled it and I couldn't find any. I do remember... God, this is going to be so obscure. I do remember a team called Brutal Force or something like that worked with Deadpool, which were like mech animals.
Yeah, they had their own like comic series back in the day, and then they a Deadpool writer brought them back for that one story.
But I believe the bear on their team is not a panda, which is disappointing. We need more panda bears in the MCU.
Pandas are cute.
I want to see Panda Bear by Night, the movie. Pandamania?
Pandemonium.
A member of the White Rabbit's new criminal group, ultimately stopped by Spider-Man.
Now, see, here's
wait. Was his job to cause pandemonium?
Presumably, but there's also the Deadpool panda. Pandapool.
Oh, yeah, Pandapool. I forgot about him. So there are some pandas.
There's a few pandas.
There's a Kung Fu Panda.
There's not enough pandas, though. That's the
There's
problem.
a panda from We Bare Bears.
That is
There's
the best
panda.
That's not a panda.
But he's a panda.
That's a black bear. That's not a panda. I'm gonna go insane with that. You can't be a black panda. That's a black bear.
No, it's like Black Panther, but it's Black Panda.
Oh, okay. Okay, I was so confused.
The Marvel database website by fandom only has 3 pandas, and it's Black Panda, Pandapool, and Pandapool from 3 different universes.
Sorry, Jack. I was just imagining a scenario where they're like, this panda, it has superpowers. Well, what are his powers? Notice how a normal panda's fur is black and white. But yet this panda's fur is all black. It's just a fucking black bear, guys. They're two
His
different
arch nemesis is a polar bear.
That
Like,
drove
white
me...
panda!
I'm sorry, that idea just drove me insane for a minute. But they're trying to track down the intelligentsia.
Yeah.
I'm sure that blackboard is full of Easter eggs, but I tried for a minute, I couldn't find any.
Didn't even bother looking myself.
However, for Werewolf by Night, I did do some Googles. We'll be talking about that next week, hopefully.
I have a werewolf mask. Maybe I might wear it for the entire review. I don't know. If I don't sweat in it.
Jen decides. Blonsky said I could come anytime. He understands the situation I'm in. Let's go talk to him.
Which
sets off for the retreat.
Gotta mention, look, I realize this episode is pretty stuffed. I know you couldn't put him in there. I miss the support group. I miss Porcupine. I miss Solegula. I wish they could have had a little appearance like.
Oh yes, Saracen, which is very, 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 very close to my last name. My last name, instead of a C, it's a Z. So Sarazen instead, but theirs is Saracen. So mine, it's very close to my last name. So maybe I'm a vampire. I don't know.
We can only hope.
I've
yeah,
been
I
out
think
of the sun for 3 days.
I think we loved those characters so much that yes, it would be nice to see them come back. But I think if you did have, like, you know, Wrecker meets her and then goes into the house with her and everything, and then she leaves. I think if you had all of them in the kitchen in that scene, it's okay.
Yeah.
One, it might have been a bit overstuffed. You know, each of them would have got a sentence or something. But also, you would then have, and you know, perhaps you could have worked it in towards the middle of the episode. But if they were all there, then it's like, okay, one of them probably would have gone with her to find a meal. Okay, then you have these characters tagging along. But equally, you know, then when Titania and Bruce and everyone is smashing through the sides of the barn, yeah, have the support group run in, you know?
I do have a pitch that kind of has something to do with them later, but we'll get to that.
Okay.
I just think it's sad we didn't get to see Man Bull again. I love that guy.
Nikki and Pug go undercover.
Hmm.
Who else immediately put together that they were meeting at the ranch, like, before they even went inside?
I did.
Yeah.
Like,
Neil's,
what was that?
I said Neil's good at this.
I am decently good at predicting shit, although, let it be known, I had no idea She-Hulk was going to do what she was going to do. So that took me by surprise, too.
Yeah. The goat, I love how out of place Pug is and how uncomfortable he is saying what Nikki's telling him to and everything.
Refer to them only as females.
Yeah.
Oh.
Everyone feels anti-feminist.
We get the. I like there was a wee line thrown in reference to Jane, the Mighty Thor. It's like, they're all girls now. Cool. Chronologically, it's like, okay, cool. This takes place after Jane has become Mighty Thor. Nice timeline placement.
Yeah.
But we get the confirmation that Todd was Hulk King.
I knew it. I was right.
Yeah.
Yay! I actually got something right for once.
I thought it was going to be the leader.
I hoped the leader. Yeah.
I don't know. I just had this feeling that it was Todd because he just seemed like a complete douchebag. He was hitting on Jen a lot. But technically, Neil did say in episode 4 that there was something off about Todd. So technically, Neil had something part of it too.
I just thought it was creepy that he was specifically like trying to get her superhero specs. Like he was like, "Oh, hey, can adamantium hurt you and stuff like that?" Like that's when I was starting to think like, oh, well, what the fuck is happening with this dude?
Very subtle.
Yeah. You knew there was something off with him. It was just you didn't know what and to what extent. Oh, okay. He set all this up. He is our weird to say, but he's the big bad of this show.
Yeah, he's the main villain, and that is one of my problems with the show. Although I will admit, I loved the design of Dude Bro Hulk. I loved it because it's awful.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this the part where everything starts going to shit?
So we're building to the reveal. We're building to the reveal. It's like, oh, yeah, Emil's down at the lodge for some meeting thing. And Abomination comes in wearing the shirt and everything, as as you said, the Funko and the trailer and everything.
Those Funkos are how you figure shit out, man. You
Yeah.
gotta watch the Funkos.
I was gutted. Oh, I should have said at the start of this. I filmed my reaction to this finale. That's on my channel. Go watch that. The highlights.
Like
But when Abomination came in, I was like, I was gutted. I'm like, no. I so wanted Emil to be good. And I'm glad that he was
He is
inept.
good.
He didn't know. He didn't know who these guys were. He thought there was like, oh yeah, they're like a self-help group.
Here's
Like, you've all been putting your plans into action. Good for you.
Here's my problem with
Right.
it, though. He spent so much time in prison. He spent a lot of effort getting out of prison. And then some people were like, hey, we'll pay you. Show up as the Abomination here. And he's like, fuck yeah, I'll do it. I'll risk going to prison even though there's an ankle bracelet on me. That's bad writing. I'm sorry, but the fact that he just shows up as Abomination and there's no real explanation given, for me, that is awful writing. They just needed him to be there.
I'm okay with it because previously in what was it? Episode 7?
Uh-huh.
The whole they go to Emil's retreat because it's like, oh yeah, there's something up with the ankle bracelet. And he's like, oh yeah, no, I shocked myself on the electric fence while tending to my favorite chicken.
Oh, you think that was a lie then?
I think that was a lie because then in this episode he's like, oh, I have been doing this on the side just for profit. So I assume he's done this a few times for motivational speaking events.
Okay, I'm a little more okay with that now. There's some context here now.
There's some context. There was that bit. I'm like, okay, this was somewhat set up, alluded to, teased. Sure. I do agree. Yeah, the amount of effort Emil went into to getting out of jail. But perhaps he's just too flippant and confident that, I'll get away with this.
I just think
it's the part
dumb.
where everything goes amok.
Sure.
Are we about to get to the part where everything runs amok?
Amok.
Emil didn't know. I do have one note, as we said about Todd's transformation. Yeah, the Dude Bro Hulk King. Yeah, that looked good. The transformation was great. How sort of wonky and broken it feels and sounds. But I just like, and I don't know how intentional this was, but when Todd's sort of going off, he's like, oh, see, I didn't just get handed these superpowers. I had to work for it. He says, I didn't just get handed these, as he is literally
Being handed
a
them.
switch.
So he's a hypocrite.
Yeah. It's like, oh, sure, I had to work for it. I did this. No, you had money and you paid other people to do it.
Yeah. Josh is the one who did the work to get the blood.
Yeah, he did the legwork. The scientists
we never
synthesized
see
it.
Josh again. We never see
He just
Josh.
funded it.
He's in the credits. Literally, there's art in the credits of Jin like in the courtroom getting Todd arrested, like taking Todd to trial, and in the background you can see Josh like tugging at his
Sweating.
collar, like, oh jeez.
Yeah.
But yeah, he didn't get punished by the story.
Todd transforms. I like that Emil goes to protect Jen from Todd, and then Bruce shows up and assumes the worst. But yes, here's where everything starts going off the rails.
WTFIGO.
So here's the thing. I like what they did. I'm gonna go into my problems with this episode probably towards the end, but I like how they subverted our expectations. I like how it looked like we were gonna get the big finale, and then they corrected that and gave us something more fitting to She-Hulk. But here's the thing, and I gotta stick with this. If you're gonna do this all-out, everything is chaos, everything is crazy thing, I think they should have gone further. Like, that scene did not last super long. Titania shows up, Bruce shows up, there's like a couple fights exchanged between Abomination and Hulk, and then that scene ends. You know what I wish would have happened? Let's just rank up the crazy. Let's have Leapfrog come in and be like, oh hey, I want vengeance on She-Hulk too, and then she attacks She-Hulk, Wong's in, and he's like, oh, the demons are back. The demons start flying through, and then all the different people from the support group come in and use their powers. Then She-Hulk goes, okay, this is fucking nuts. Let's stop this. If you're gonna go with that, take it all the way. Have like a big action scene where all of these characters that have no business being together fight each other.
I agree. That would have been a lot of fun. Just the utter chaos of everything coming together at the end. I do think this slightly more limited version works for the whole Marvel formula thing that they go into and joke about with Kevin. It's, yeah, these are the key things, and we need to set up this with Hulk, we need to do this, we need to do this. These are the boxes that Kevin wants them to tick.
I'm just confused.
Sure. And also, I absolutely think that the scene would have gotten crazier, but, Jen turns the camera and us, the viewer, back out of watching the episode and go to the Disney Plus homepage.
No, okay, that part was funny. I was just confused all around.
Yeah.
I wish we had the editing to do some sort of meta joke here where we pause the review and then one of us, says our opinions are the best opinions, ignore the rest of the episode or something. But we don't have that technology, so...
We don't have that.
I don't do that!
We have that technology. I can do that for us. We just don't plan well enough to have coordinated on that.
Yeah, let me rephrase this. We're not going to do that. We should, but we're not gonna.
But we might. We might subvert your expectations. Watch the end of this video to find out.
Nothing's gonna happen. I'm telling you right now. Nothing's gonna get changed.
It might.
This is where you, edit in you in a Deadpool mask or something, and you're like, but what if?
The Watcher steps in.
Hulk, son, what are you doing here?
So, yeah.
Is this working for you? Back out to Disney Plus menu. Okay.
Yeah.
So, fucking... Here's the thing. You know what? I'll save my grievances for the end. I want to keep it towards the end.
Okay.
I have problems with this, but I want it to be known, I still think this is fucking hilarious. I think it's really funny that you see She-Hulk in all the CG walking past the seven dwarves holding up the damn building. I love that she actually fucking went to go see Kevin, and she starts, grilling her writing staff. I think this is all absolutely funny. I have no problems with this. I have some problems with how it affected the story, but I live for meta shit like this. Once again, when I said they stole this from Gwenpool, they really did steal this from Gwenpool. Shit like this happens all the time in her comics.
So, Kevin Feige is the bad guy?
I don't know if he's a bad guy.
Kevin Feige is Kevin Feige.
I mean, I think there are some people that do think Kevin Feige is the bad guy.
Well, here's the thing. This is not Kevin Feige, which is something the showrunners wanted us to know for sure. This is an AI who makes all the Marvel movies named Kevin. God damn it, Jack. He didn't tell us he was gonna do this.
Maybe this was what he was talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, this is the closest to a witty editing thing you're going to get from me in this video.
The reveal that you're secretly working with the AI. Disney Plus Pals is just part of the illusion.
Wheels onto us. I'm going to need...
I just get sniped.
And I do know a lot of people say the CEO of Walt Disney is a bad guy.
Oh, JPEG? He sucks.
Yep. That's a whole other thing. I'm going to drink.
Even your alcohol is green. Very on theme.
I know. I'm very thematic.
Meanwhile, I'm wearing my blue Avatar shirt on my red couch with my white background.
Green screen, Disney villains, devil horns, black lace gloves.
Yeah, but you got the devil horns and the green. Jack's got the green. I didn't even try, folks. Nor will I.
You're lucky it's not St. Patrick's Day.
I think my favorite joke was, I want to see Kevin. All right, you have to sign this non-disclosure agreement.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Push
Hits
the button.
the alarm. Why did you wait for me to sign it if you were going to hit the alarm? Well, everybody's got
Everyone has to sign NDA.
Everyone has to sign an NDA. Having signed a few NDAs, yes, everyone has to sign the NDA.
I have yet to sign an NDA, but I'm sure my day will come.
I have signed NDAs with companies which NDAs still apply, so I can't talk about.
We don't talk about.
Jack has signed NDAs with bleep.
Again, we're not doing good fancy editing on this video. We're not.
We just want you to know that if we gave a shit and had the
Just
effort,
imagine how much we could do if we cared.
No, we don't.
This is Neil's channel. I can say whatever I want to his audience.
hey, I do it too. Fuck you guys.
I do have my moments, but I try to show some dignity and respect to you viewers out here.
I don't fuck them.
I'm glad you don't, Neil.
Thank you all for watching. This is all a joke. I apologize.
If you want to have your inputs on either Jack or I's channels, please. I would love to hear your guys' comments. No one has commented on any of my videos, so please give me your comments. I'm dying for some comments here. I'm desperate. No, I'm not, but
I love you all dearly and really, really appreciate that you give a shit about my stuff. I'm gonna continue to make fun of you guys, but it's all in good faith. You can make fun of me in the comments. I'm okay with it.
It's a two-way street.
Yeah, so where was I? Oh yeah, fuck my audience. Let's continue.
I think you guys are great.
Knowledge. Enhanced visual interconnectivity nexus.
They use the word nexus, which is a little sus for me.
Oh, just a little.
Mephisto.
Well, they haven't really established this yet, but they kind of hinted at it in What If, when they mentioned that Christine Palmer's death was did they call it a nexus point, or did they say it was unchangeable? I can't remember.
My Doctor Who obsessed brain just painted in fixed point. I don't think that's what they said.
Fair enough.
No, what you guys are talking about.
Well, a fixed point. I dabble in the Who as well. A fixed point is...
As of time of recording, it is less than 10 hours until the finale for Jodie.
Fingers crossed your prediction about the finale is correct, Jack. I hope that's what happens.
I hope so.
But, I have lost my train of thought. A fixed point in time is essentially just a point where no matter what you do with time travel, that's gonna happen. Even if you go back in time and change key events to make sure it doesn't happen, doesn't matter. It's gonna happen anyways.
Oh, like that Doctor Strange episode.
Yeah,
yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
No matter what Steven did, Christine kept dying.
I totally forgot her name was Christine.
I only remember because of that episode.
I thought we were
Because that
talking about
episode was fucking
Opera.
great. We didn't cover What If, but there are some gems in there.
I thought we were talking about Phantom of the Opera, but you know.
We should circle back. Well, after Wakanda Forever and Phase 4 ends, I think we should go back and fill in all the gaps of everything we didn't cover. Because I want to bitch about how bad Black Widow was.
Like the rest of Miss Marvel, Neil.
Look, I'm sorry. Life got in the way of those reviews.
Did that back in June, buddy.
It's okay. I do think we should go back and do all that. I agree with you guys. But also, we got to do this episode today.
Sure.
Fair enough.
Signs the NDA, security comes out, She-Hulk beats up the Disney security guards.
There's your action scene for the finale,
There's a Wilhelm
folks.
scream in there.
I did notice the Wilhelm.
Kevin, I love, again, as Neil said, I may be misreading this, but you liked all this, just not the effect it had on the stuff back in the universe. But yeah, the jokes in this were fantastic. But first, can you change back? Why? You are very expensive. Great. Fantastic.
That was funny.
And it turns out near perfect products. Near perfect? Some are better than others, but I leave that debate up to the internet.
Oh yeah, then when Jen says, everyone says that every Marvel ends the same. Who says that? The internet. Everybody says that.
Again, all this meta commentary. Look, I am not a monster. I cannot love... I, as a person, you can tell by the way I treat my friends, I cannot love something without making fun of it. That's just the person I am. If I love something, I gotta make some jokes about it. I gotta show my love. I gotta make some laughs with it. There's a fucking formula to the MCU, and I love that they're poking fun at it now.
It's like Enchanted poking fun at Disney, which I'm still crossing fingers, and hopefully Disenchanted is good next month.
I loved all this. I love the idea that Kevin Feige is an AI. It's a little weird to me because I thought I'll go into my Gwenpool theory later. I thought they were setting up Gwenpool, and they still might be. But the AI kind of throws a wrench into that a little bit for me. But I want to be clear. I loved the idea. I loved the meta execution. I loved everything going wrong. It just felt like when we returned to the She-Hulk story, like the main story of She-Hulk, suddenly nothing fucking matters for a minute. Jin got a get out of jail free card, and even though we don't see resolution to these things, suddenly we're supposed to feel satisfied with how Todd ended. We're supposed to, like, feel bad when Blonsky goes back to jail. And I gotta be real, I know some people probably loved it, but for me, when Daredevil showed up, that was cringy.
Okay.
So are they really an item now?
I hope so, because I do still think they're a good couple.
Yeah. I think I want to wrap the fourth wall stuff before we get on to the conclusions and some of the bigger problems. I like the Jen, again, because as we said, it's okay. It's doing sort of She-Hulk stuff for the climax in the fourth wall break, but it's also doing She-Hulk stuff for the climax in that, and they joke about it, she's pleading her case to a judge here for why this is the way things should be. Great lawyering, fun. That's what I wanted more of from this show, ultimately.
The more I think about it, Jack, we kind of tiptoed around the idea of this episode happening last week. Because if you'll remember, I said, I think it's going to be a big showdown with all the main characters coming back. And I think you even said something along the lines of, don't you think that would be a little wild and crazy? And then you pitched you wanted her to, like, settle it in court, settle it with an argument.
Yep. I say that in my reaction. Once again, please go watch that over on my channel to the She-Hulk finale.
Like
I'm like, oh, Neil's gonna love this, and then later on, I'm like, so yeah, we said that this is what you wanted and this is what I wanted. We kind of both got it, but not really.
well, at least we all got a piece of something in this episode.
I just wish the scene where everything went fucking wild was longer. Because
Sure.
it felt like they had a good idea and then they didn't run with it.
I like. Are we getting a Hulk movie? But Jen's line, save it for the movie. In terms of introducing Scar and everything. I like the, and when are we getting the X-Men?
I love that.
Turn to camera. The wee wink, smile, thumbs up, tongue out.
I cannot tell
Tatiana
you that.
Maslany as Jen Walters has been fucking adorable. She's been fantastic in the role.
Yeah, I won't complain about it. Her performance has been great this entire time.
Yeah.
The show's got problems. She is not one of them.
And I did, again, it reminded me a wee bit of Deadpool. A fourth wall, like, she's breaking the fourth wall within this fourth wall break to X-Men smile and wink at us, the audience.
Inception.
How many walls is that?
Well, here's the thing. She literally broke the fourth wall, broke it, we see her break it, to get out of her show. Then she breaks another wall to jump into the show of the behind-the-scenes Marvel stuff. Then she just starts walking around in the real world. So at that point, there are no walls. The walls are gone. And then she enters this new fictional place with Kevin. I don't know how many walls got broken in that dude. At least 2?
Yeah.
And then
But
we lost the
writers
need for
aren't the
walls.
actual writers of the show. Those are actors playing the writers of the show. It's...
So 16 walls have been broken? Is that how you do it?
I think that's what Deadpool's count was for breaking the fourth wall within a fourth wall break. So let's roll with that.
By the way, now canonically, when Deadpool tries to top this with a fourth wall break in Deadpool 3, he has to look to the camera and go, "Beat that shit, She-Hulk." He's got to call her out.
After this, I mean, the bar has been set. Good luck, guys.
I mean, to be fair, though, they already announced Wolverine is going to be in Deadpool 3, so...
Yeah.
The bar has been set.
Better than the She-Hulk series, but the bar for MCU fourth wall breaks has been set.
I think of it less as the bar has been set and more as the baseball is on the tee and Deadpool's getting ready to hit it farther.
I like that analogy, yeah.
Better make a home run.
I hope so.
I like the Bruce smashes buildings, I smash fourth walls, Brad endings, and sometimes Matt Murdock. Oh, fuck yes. Jen's great.
I do love those lines.
Yeah.
Sometimes
like, this
Matt
is
Murdock.
sweet. It's like, he smashes buildings, I smash fourth walls and bad endings. I'm like, okay, cool. And then that we on the end as well. Love it. The see you on the big screen, and then the optimistic wide-eyed, really? No. Great. A whole sequence in the real world, in Marvel's Assembled. Fantastic. And then the most cost-effective way to get back into the story is just to cut directly to it. Brilliant.
Yeah, these meta jokes are great, and I love them. It's just, now that we're here, here's where my problems are with the story, obviously. Like, we come back, Todd's already in handcuffs, Emil's being arrested, the plot has been established, and then I get that this is the joke. It's still cringy for me. Daredevil just falls out of the sky. The devil of Hell's Kitchen, the guy who exclusively operates at night, just dropped in.
Hell's Kitchen. I wonder if he knows Gordon Ramsay.
I'm sure.
I've actually been watching a lot of Hell's Kitchen, so I will admit this. I haven't watched episodes 8 like 7 and 8 till like very recently because I've been so busy trying to get into the Halloween spirit and watching Hell's Kitchen at the same time.
I feel you. I've been so busy lately that I have not watched the most recent episode of Andor, which I am very upset about because Andor is like the best thing on TV right now. Like,
Agreed.
Andor is legitimately fucking great. I hope the next episode's good. They kind of ended the... Sorry, I'm going into Andor now. She-Hulk.
Yeah, it's a good episode. The next one. It is, and the director said, yeah, from your perspective, the next one, from my perspective, the one I've already watched, is sort of a standalone, and then the rest of them sort of all flow together as an arc.
Okay, well...
But no, it's still really good.
I'm very excited.
I am thinking, I've opened up Google Images when you're like,
Oh wait,
Daredevil who exclusively operates at night. Yeah, I'm struggling to find any images of him in the costume from the Netflix series.
Neil was right. Neil was right.
Yeah.
About Hulk.
Which time?
You know.
What was I right? Oh, with Hulk coming back or Hulk having a kid?
Yes.
Well, I heard a rumor that Scar was going to come in. And by the way, somebody commented, Neil, where do you hear your rumors? The same place you guys do. I see them on Instagram and I see them on YouTube and stuff. I don't have an inside guy. Or do I? But...
Is it Harold?
Here's the thing. I'm not going to confirm whether or not I have an inside guy, but I will say if I did, I probably couldn't confirm it.
He cannot confirm nor deny.
I think it fundamentally just kind of made sense for Scar to show up because, like, if we're actually doing World War Hulk, which, by the way, I don't know if anybody's read the World War Hulk comics out there. I actually don't know if that's the best place to go with the story of the MCU right now, but I'm game. They'll probably change it a whole bunch.
Yeah.
I figured Scar would show up, and I figured Scar's probably going to join the inevitable Young Avengers show we're going to get. At this point, it seems like that's definitely going to happen.
I hope we're prepared.
I've just been enjoying all the memes with Scar lately, because egad, that design looks bad. Are you laughing about the memes, Cher?
No. Jack's
I couldn't hold it. Your laugh is infectious.
I didn't even see Jack's face, so that went over my head. When you started laughing, I looked at you.
Displeased.
When were you displeased?
Yes, we were not prepared.
Here's the thing. I have seen concept...
That's a different Marvel character, Neil.
Shut up. I've seen concept
I'm sorry, people watching this episode, but it's been all over the place.
They love it.
Continue. You just can't let it go.
People like it when we're crazy and kooky, my man. But, God damn it, where was I? Oh, yeah.
Scar, memes.
Well, there was concept art of what Scar should look like, which looked a lot better than what he does. He kind of had hair over his eye. He looked kind of warrior-y. And I was like, okay, this is a good design. What we got is Sad Boy Hulk with a terrible haircut. Scar...
Does he like to listen to Evanescence?
I would imagine so, yes. I like Evanescence. But Scar in the comics has, like, long hair. He's got tattoos. He looks fucking awesome.
So, Jack.
Jack does not have tattoos.
But he has long hair.
Not at the moment.
Yeah. Oh.
I would have laughed harder if you were like, you can't see them.
But he's wearing green.
Yeah. Green and long hair. Yeah, no, I agree. Like, when Scar shows up, I'm like, okay, cool. Doesn't look like the Scar that I am tertiarily familiar with. But I think it's just the haircut for me. I think the rest of the design and the face and everything works fine. It's just that, and sure, alien planet, different culture, sure, have them have different hairstyle, but you also want us to take him seriously, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know Bruce had a son, so I guess I don't know, whatever.
The hope for me is that since everybody is universally like, this is a bad design, in the next one they'll kind of be like, all right, let's just change this a little. Let's keep it so they know it's the same guy, but let's pull Abomination here and let's just fix this.
Yep. It's not ugly Sonic level. You can still improve it though. And hey, look at it this way: merchandising. Change the design a little and make new action figures.
Yeah,
there
more
you go.
toys. You can make the bad art has a toy, and some poor bastard will buy it, and then the rest of us will buy the good one.
Yeah.
Like you.
Nah, I won't buy a Scar figure. Although if you could do the same thing, but with the Hulk version of Hawkeye, there's my money.
Yeah, I mean, aside from Scar's design, I like that scene. I like the family barbecue. The banter with the family to Matt and everything is great fun. His wee line when I love the uncle or whatever, like giving Matt the side eye as he escorts his wife away from him. And Jen's sitting down. It's like, Jen, yeah, I need a co-counsel here. Like, they're legal jargon and back and forth. They're great together. Whether they are an item or not remains to be seen. Whether they had a fun wee side thing on the go there, because they're repeatedly saying it's like, oh yeah, no, I'm just visiting. This is just a thing, and we had a good time.
We're just friends.
Well, he was specifically saying that in response to, are you going to have kids with her?
Yes.
Which kind of felt like them predicting my little theory of, could She-Hulk get pregnant with Daredevil's child? Could that happen?
Respectfully, you're sounding like the reporters from fucking episode 2 of
I
She-Hulk,
know.
Abominations, baby!
I even mentioned I don't think it's going to happen. I just like the idea that it could.
Sure.
I think...
I ship them, yeah.
Here's the thing.
I'm fine if they're just friends.
The way everybody's viewing it is, a lot of people are like, no, they're not together. Or, yes, they're definitively together. Here's how I say it. They had a hookup. They banged. And then they still liked each other afterwards. This was date 1. We don't know where it's going to go. This was their first date. So, theoretically, there could be a date 2 in the Daredevil show. Or maybe they just decide to be friends. Either is fine.
Oh, I forgot they had sex.
Yeah, they banged. And sometimes
something
that
special.
But I do want to talk about the Scar scene just a little more. Just because, like, this kind of... I am telling you, at one point this episode was something else. I am, like, 90% sure at one point there was a completely different cut of this episode. Because it legitimately feels to me like Scar's introduction was cut down to its most barest bones. Like, it's literally just one shot of Scar. He doesn't speak, he doesn't say anything. He walks forward, and then the scene ends. It's literally a footnote. Like, it's just, oh, by the way, Hulk has a son. Okay, continue with the She-Hulk plot.
Very, very an afterthought.
My theory is, when She-Hulk went to go see Kevin and get the show fixed, originally, Kevin was going to rewrite the show incorrectly and make it like the older Hulk series, and then maybe there would have been like another parody or something else. Like maybe he rewrites the events of the Avengers and like puts She-Hulk in it, something funny like that. But I am telling you, there had to be a cut of this episode where everything was different, because everything seems a little choppy and like they were just playing with the footage they had. Like the ending of Titania's arc. The ending of Titania as a character is her showing up, looking like she's gonna do something, and instead she plays on her phone. That is the end of the arc we spent a good 3 episodes setting up for Titania. and maybe she'll be in season 2 if they even get a season 2, because I know like this was a very mixed show for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know, man. There's just some story stuff here that did not work for me. Like, it really felt like a get out of jail free card. Like, oh, we don't want the plot to go this way. So even though we're not going to explain how She-Hulk fixed all these problems, she did. She got an AI computer to rewrite it for her. She did. They're just fixed now. And you're not supposed to question the lore of the MCU, so don't. And don't think that she can ever come back here again, because we've patched the Disney Plus website. It's impossible. This was a one-time dealio. Don't be suggesting this when people are fighting Kang. I like that they covered their ass. I like that there were some really funny scenes there, but like, god damn, I really felt like that ending kind of soured me on the whole show a little bit. Like, it kind of felt like, well, if you can just do that shit, why does any of this matter? And I get that they're establishing it's a one-time thing, but they didn't pay off the Todd stuff. They didn't pay off a lot of it. It felt like they put the fourth wall joke as the payoff, but for me that doesn't work, because now your story is like, stories are beginning, middle, and end. This story is beginning, middle, all right, let's take about a 5-minute break and go back and rewrite all the stuff that was in the middle of the episode. All right, end. I don't know. I'm just a little lukewarm on it. I'm glad you guys didn't dislike it, but for me, it's like...
I'm still kind of like, I don't know, I'm still kind of confused.
For me, it's just clunky. The way they handled a lot of things at the end were clunky, and I'm pretty sure it might not have been their original plan. But I cannot say that... That's what's weird about this series. There's a lot of stuff wrong with it, but there's some true gems in this show. Like, legitimately, I think every scene with Kevin is fucking hilarious. I think all the meta shit is great. I think the setup of all the shit going wrong and She-Hulk being to identify that her finale sucks is genius and so funny. But I don't know, like, this is all really good stuff. It just feels like it didn't end the best for me. Like, it didn't go the places I needed it to go for this to be good.
Okay.
And once again, maybe I'm the minority, and I know, like, I've given a couple bad reviews on this show, but don't worry, I'll be right back to fanatically loving Marvel when we talk about Werewolf by Night, because Jesus fucking Christ, I adored that.
I agree. There are bits that feel clunky, and I will defend some of them as that was intentionally done, specifically the harsh cut to, okay, what's the most cost-effective way to get back into the action? And you're back into it, everything's resolved. Cool. That's fun. I liked that. It does mean that as a result, okay, so we changed... I somewhat especially agree with Titania as your complaints there. It's like, okay, sure, she busts into the barn, but you just have an extra moment when she's talking with Kevin where she goes, and why is Titania here? And okay, we delete that. She's not in the rest of the episode. Cool.
That I would have liked a lot better.
All you needed. Relatively easy fix.
I like that a lot better.
Once we're back to the story, yeah, I agree. Okay, how much... Okay, again, it's funny. Everything up until the cut back to reality, entire episode for me, great fun. But once, well, I say reality, cut back to the MCU. Okay, Todd is defeated and not hulked out because we changed that. We changed it that he never injected himself. He never became the Hulk King, Dude Bro Hulk or whatever. Because he's the villain, not the powers. Cool. I love that sentiment. Great. But did he still pay Josh to go and steal her blood? I assume so, because they take him to court over it.
That's what bothers me, too.
Are the vials of the blood still out there? There are these weird So, okay, editing it in this way with Kevin, great, works. But it's left to these weird loose ends that they don't even acknowledge, let alone address or tie up. So I do think the episode could have benefited from an extra 10 minutes or something to actually explain some of that stuff.
Mm.
Which, yeah, they just don't. And equally, there is the argument, oh, if they had an extra 10 minutes, they might use it on something else. So that's more my problem with Back to the MCU.
I also want to voice that, like, the way the show stands, like, it's possible they may go into detail and explain this better, but as you said, Jack, they didn't really do that, so I have to judge the episode as it is.
Yes.
As the show stands, the whole blood plot was useless. It was just set up for this one joke, and then they immediately threw it out. I think that was a wasted opportunity. Like, Kevin does make a mention whenever she's like, save it for the movie. I think he says something along the lines of re-scripting or something like that. Re-scripting does not mean redoing. It means he's changing things. So maybe he did change it to be like, oh, well, Josh doesn't take the blood. Instead, he sold it off to some random scientist, the leader, later. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe they'll explain.
And if that's where it goes, then my issues are dissuaded. Cool, awesome. They had a plan with it, and they did something with it. Cool. Captain America, the next Captain America, Samuel Stern's the leader, and they even acknowledge it's like it feels very, very super soldier serum-y. Cool. Have that be the case. Have these combining the two of them or creating a new one using Jen's blood instead that he got from Todd, and then that's a fun payoff for the She-Hulk show. But that is a big if.
That they have now officially confirmed that Harrison Ford, which, by the way, this blows my fucking mind, but with his opinions on Star Wars, I can't imagine him in interviews for a Hulk movie. But apparently Harrison Ford will be playing Thunderbolt Ross going forward. So Han Solo is going to be the Red Hulk. Cher, you're still paralyzed. The actor who plays Han Solo, Harrison Ford, is gonna...
I know who he is.
Well, I didn't know where you were confused. I'm sorry. He's gonna play Thunderbolt Ross, the character who pushed the Sokovia Accords on the Avengers.
Who?
He's the military soldier guy. It's okay. He's in there. He's not... Honestly, his character hasn't been that important to the MCU, but he has popped up a couple times.
Yeah, he was in the Edward Norton Hulk film. He then showed up in Civil War.
He has a mustache.
Military guy. He was in Black Widow briefly, and then he passed away recently.
Mm.
So they've recast him as Harrison Ford, playing the character now.
Which I'm excited to see, because that confirms we're doing something with Hulk blood.
Mm.
But I guess we'll have to see where that ends up going.
Yeah.
But She-Hulk in general, I guess these will be my final thoughts before we go into rankings. Unless you have other notes, Jack.
I do have one more note. There's the post-credit scene as well.
Was there a post-credit scene? Oh, yeah, Wong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In my reaction, you can see him watching the credits. Like, oh, it's like starring the special guest, Charlie Cox, special guest, Mark Ruffalo, special guest, Benedict Wong. I'm like, Wong wasn't in this episode.
Yeah.
Post-credit scene. Okay.
What is your question, though, Cher?
Where's Madison?
I was wondering the same damn thing. I was hoping when he opened the portal, Madison would just walk out in her hoodie like she was the last time we saw her. Here's the thing. I know people are like, are Jin and Daredevil gonna get together? Look, Wong and Madison might be my new biggest ship of the MCU. Please, let there be Doctor Strange 2, or if Wong gets his own thing, let Madison be a main character and his love interest.
Wait, isn't there already a Doctor Strange?
Yeah, Doctor Strange 3.
Oh, I meant... sorry. Numbers.
It's okay. You're cool.
I am also disappointed Madison was gone. But, yeah, no, this actually opened some doors, because I thought... Like, I had that thought in my head where I was like, oh, duh. Abomination has to go back to jail. because he's gonna be in Thunderbolts, probably. But no, it seems like they're subverting that too. So, I don't know, man. Abomination might be just in Doctor Strange 3, which is a very gnarly thought to have, but I love the idea that he's just fucking around doing his, like, therapy and his, like, weird hippie stuff in Kamatage.
With actual, like, sorcerers and masters of the mystic arts, yeah.
I'm just saying, if we later discover that Emil Blonsky has become Doctor Strange's therapist, would not complain even a little.
Yeah.
We've seen he can do it.
I have so many fun ideas, like, in my head. It's, okay, I love that idea of, okay, Doctor Strange 3, similar to Iron Man 3, opens with Stephen narrating, and then at the end we find out that he's laying on a couch being therapized by Blonsky. That's a great image. I love that now at Camertage with Wong and everyone, we have America Chavez and the Abomination are both, both on campus now. So, and then we talked about this before, Wong's relationship now with Madison, and then the karaoke nights with Shang-Chi and Katie. I have this beautiful idea in my head of Wong on a night out with Madison, Katie, and Wong. Maybe it's a double date. And then at the end, he portals back to Camertage and sits down on the couch with America Chavez and Blonsky, and it's the four of them sitting and watching The Sopranos,
I still want Abomination to be the designated driver. I still want that to happen.
I want Madison to come back.
Legitimately, here's my perfect thing. Katie and Shang-Chi are going on a double date with Wong and Madison. Obviously, there's some jokes about that Katie and Shang-Chi aren't actually together. And then it just cuts to a fully hulked out Abomination waiting outside in the car, just hearing a cop siren go down, and then he, like, ducks under the wheel a little. And he's like, Wong, hurry the fuck up, Jesus. I need this. But moving into my final thoughts, I'll talk about She-Hulk as a whole here, because I want to be clear about this. I liked the show. I like it a lot. There are some episodes of the show I completely adore. I think my favorite episode is a little tough to pick. I love the Wong episode. The Daredevil episode is really good, despite my one problem with that, ribbit. But yeah, no, I thought this was a very enjoyable series. It didn't get me hyped up like some of the other ones do, but I had fun. I had a lot of fun watching Jin go through this stuff, and honestly, I really grew to love her as a character, and I like her supporting staff too. Like, watch this final episode. Pug doesn't have a single line that isn't gold. Like, Pug is great in this episode, so is Nikki. And I got really into the idea of this universe and these characters, so I'm sure I'm going to surprise a few people here. I do want there to be a season 2. I just think I would maybe want it with some different writers, because I know that She-Hulk can take on more serious stories, and I know that a lot of people don't want her to do that, but I would like to see a bit of a more serious take. I would like to see some court drama stuff. Maybe, like me and Jack were saying, our favorite parts of the show, and maybe my favorite scene of the whole show, it's just Daredevil and She-Hulk arguing semantics about the legality of superheroes. If we had a whole show that was just that, I'd be giving 10 out of 10 some of the episodes. But what we got was not bad. It just had some bad moments. And I personally think that while I liked a lot of this episode, the ending kind of soured me on the whole show together. Because I do commonly think, like, well, what was the point of showing all those scenes with the blood if you were just going to undo it? What was all the point of a lot of this if you're just going to retcon it later? And it didn't feel satisfying to me because of that. But I do want to reiterate, I'm glad the show happened, and I will gladly watch a season 2. And I am going to give this episode my ranking of 6.
Okay.
I still think it's a little better than average. The writing is still very funny. I gotta be real with that. But, yeah, no, it really broke my immersion in kind of a bad way when they went back in. Which sucks, because right before it broke my immersion in a bad way, it broke my immersion in the best way possible, with going to the fucking real world. Which, by the way, just gonna give my theory here about Gwenpool real quick. So, I don't know if people know what Gwenpool is. She is a character who is literally named Gwen Pool. And she wanted to get her own costume made, but since her name is Gwenpool, when she submitted it to, like, a cosplay person, she thought that she wanted a version of, like, Spider-Gwen has Deadpool. So that's the suit they made him. Which is very meta, because that's how the character was created. And she is essentially from our real world, and she goes to the comic world, and her superpower is she was a comic fan, so she knows everybody's secret identities, she knows all their weaknesses and stuff like that. Now, there are theories that since they go to the real world in the show, but Kevin's there, so it's clearly not our real world, but the Marvel movies exist in that world, maybe they're setting up Gwenpool to be a fan of the Marvel movies, which, if that's true, I love this episode a little bit more, and I will probably reflect that in the future and be like, it's a 7 now. But, standing on its own, I like the She-Hulk show, but it is not the best thing in the world. But, hey, what are you gonna do? It was still fun.
Sure. Just for a wee bit of reference there, you're saying about your favorite episodes. Yeah, you rated episode 4, 7, and 8 an 8.
Yeah, I would imagine that I gave the Wong episode and the Daredevil episodes pretty good ratings. I'm glad to hear that.
The Wong episode, the Daredevil episode, and the Blonsky therapy episode.
Oh, I love that one. That one was so funny.
Those were your high scores.
Yeah, those were the best episodes. 2 where they did really hardcore court stuff, and then 1 where they fucked off and did therapy.
Yeah.
Those were my favorites. What's your rating and final thoughts for this episode and the season of She-Hulk, Jack?
So for this episode, again at the start, you asked the binary, did you enjoy it, did you not? I liked this episode. It was fun. Good. It's above a 5. A positive score from me. Yes, the opening was fun. It was a dream. Sure, fine. If that's your excuse to do something fun and creative from the standpoint of the writers, I'll let you have that. Fine. The Jen losing her job and everything, and trying to track down the intelligentsia, and then everything sort of coming together at Blonsky's lodge, worked. I was, again, invested enough, 1, in Jen, and 2, just in Blonsky potentially having been a villain there, that I was like, no! This episode would have been considerably lower for me if that was the reveal that, he was evil the whole time. It's like, come on. That would have felt cheap.
Mm-hmm.
To have, sure, he's still violating his parole. But he's not maliciously doing anything. That works. That's fun. I like that.
He's not evil. He's just breaking the law.
Yeah. To clarify, there's a certain amount of responsibility in vetting the people you are hosting. Sure. It worked. It worked for me. The fourth wall insanity was fantastic. That was brilliant. Like, the rest of the episode could have been dog shit. But if that remained unchanged, this episode still would have gotten a positive review. It would have at least gotten a 5 from me. Then again, we go back to the actual MCU. I like Daredevil dropping in broad daylight with the brighter colored suit and everything, in the context of this lawyer comedy that didn't have as much lawyering as I would have liked. fine, works. It's because Jen went to God and said, "Hey, do me a solid. A girl's got needs." Fine, works for me. I don't have a complaint there. He dropped down from a tree or backflipped off the roof of the building. Either one works.
Jack, I'm sorry, but just the way you described that was so funny. A girl walks up to God and goes, "Hey, a girl has needs." Sorry, that was very funny to me.
I'll swap out the word God for Kevin, and that is a dead-on accurate description.
No, you're right. It just makes me like it a little better.
Yeah. It is reminiscent, and I'm sure comparisons will be made to the Loki finale. It's like, the main character encounters this being who has the script for the episode and knows exactly how things are going to go, except the Loki finale was better, the Loki show was better. This fun being beyond even that as a gag, something you're not to take 100% seriously. Because otherwise it's literally universe breaking.
I do want to bring this up just because I completely forgot to, and someone will comment if I don't.
Sure.
Did you notice that the layout on the little computer screen with the text that Kevin has on his body? That font and that structure, that layout's a little familiar.
It is similar to some TVA stuff. If they do some Kang bullshittery, fun. I look forward to that. If they don't, it's still great as is.
I'm just saying, if they reveal that thing is somehow Artem Zola, I will just flip.
That would be bizarre.
Dude, we got a lot of living machines coming. We got MODOK coming in Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Yeah.
We have friggin' the leader is not a machine that is living, but I guarantee you he could make one. And we have Artem Zola still out there, and he's been popping up in What If more frequently.
Yep. Thanks to What If, it is implied that he was on a computer at that base in Siberia they went to in Civil War. So yeah, he's, as far as we're aware, he's on a hard drive just sitting there waiting to be turned on.
Giggity. So what is your ranking?
My ranking for this episode, I could talk myself into giving it a 9, but I'm giving it an 8. I know, I'm like, okay, cool, because I enjoyed everything. There was the opening, which was a bit out of nowhere, but sure was a dream, and there was the cutback to reality that I have some issues with. Everything else I enjoyed the whole way through, so 90% of the episode I thought was great. 90% of the episode wasn't 10 out of 10 quality, though. It was still, on the level of a lot of the rest of She-Hulk, where, it's fun. I can sit there and put it on and have a good time. But I'm not putting it on and flipping out before Paul breaks down. I'm giving it an 8.
I really can't argue with you there. I think that this episode was honestly pretty solid. I think the reason it hit me harder is just because, to me, it felt like it invalidated a lot of the show that came before. But sure. I gotta admit, I still gotta give it the compliments. The writing's great. Cher, it is your turn.
And just because I gave the reference for you, my highest rated episode was the Daredevil one. So
you almost gave that one an 11, my man.
I almost gave that one an 11. But no, a 10. It wasn't that good.
It just makes me wonder how many Tims we're going to see when we cover Daredevil Born Again. Cher, it is your turn.
Oh boy.
For final thoughts and ranking.
I'll be honest, I've kind of been dozing off into space or whatever, on my phone.
I'm sorry my opinions were that boring to you.
No, it's fine. I don't know, it's been so long. I think the main reason why I was so excited about She-Hulk was the premiere date was my birthday. And it was August 18th, for those of you who don't know, it was my birthday. So. Now you know. But that was the main reason. I was like, oh my gosh, I could watch something on my birthday. That's really cool. I mean, I've heard of She-Hulk. I just haven't really, I'm not too familiar with She-Hulk. Her cousin. It was kind of middle tier for me, and then the Wong episodes, and I really liked that. And then unfortunately we got like the wedding episode, which
That episode is garbage.
That is, from all of us, our lowest rated episode.
and then like I said, I didn't watch like the rest of the episodes till like very recently, so I might miss a few points, but I mean it was overall it was fine. I was just confused about this episode. This episode made me so confused because I had no idea what was going on. I'm like, okay, I guess they're gonna confront the worth behind intelligentsia, which I'm so glad I got it right. I knew.
Weirdly enough, I think the intro might have added to the confusion because that was kind of an out of nowhere moment, and then later they're like fucking with the timeline. So like, I don't know. There's definitely some clunkiness here. But what is your number, Cher?
Oh yeah, but you know, I like some of the characters except for Todd and now Josh because
Fuck Josh.
Josh.
But don't. There may be a camera.
Tell Josh to fuck off, actually. I'll rephrase it. Don't fuck Josh. Tell him to fuck off.
Josh is bad. But I like Pug. Pug is probably one of my new favorite characters. He's also cute too.
He is very...
He's very cute.
He has a cute way of delivering some of his lines.
I also love Nikki. I think Nikki's she's a really good friend for Jen.
I'm glad she didn't die.
I know you guys kept saying that she's gonna die. She's gonna die. I'm like,
I did. I thought she was out. I thought they were gonna Uncle Ben her ass.
No, but I just felt like this episode just felt very, like what you said, like wonky and very, very disorganized. I think that's why I'm so confused on what was going on. It was definitely a mess, but it had its cool moments, like when she goes off to the real world. That's why I was like, WTFIGO, what is going on? No. What is going on? I don't know what's going on. But, you know, at least she was able to change her ending, even if it wasn't the ending that we all wanted. Some of us are still split on that. But, you know, it was decent. I know not a lot of people really like this show. I've seen a lot of really bad reviews of the show. You have no idea. But, you know, it was nice. It was fine. Am I gonna watch it again? Probably not, but maybe unless season 2 comes out, maybe I'll watch it again just to review. But other than that, I mean, it's fine, kind of middle of the road. But had some good moments, didn't have some good moments. So just because Jack gave it 8 and Neil gave it 6, I'm gonna give it 7. I'm gonna be in the middle.
That is fair. So
and just again, your highest scored episodes. You gave 7.5 to episode 4, the Wong Magic episode, and the Daredevil the Daredevil episode, and then you gave an 8 to the Retreat, episode 7.
Out of my own curiosity, what was the grand total number for the wedding episode?
For the wedding episode, that was episode 6. 11 out of 30.
Nice. I'm glad it's that.
So yeah, I've got the scores for the entire series then. So, and this was... Okay, episode 1 was a 20.5.
That's not bad.
Yeah, which then took a little bit of a hit and we dropped down to an 18 for episode 2 and 3. Episode 4, we jump up to 22.2. Episode 5, we're back to 20.5. Episode 6, that almost halves to an 11.
Yeah.
7, jump back up to 23, which at that point is the highest score, which is then topped by 25.5 for episode 8, and a solid 21 for the finale.
You know, honestly, those are not bad scores, with the exception of the wedding episode, which Damn it, dipped.
That is above average for the entire series except the wedding episode. Yeah.
Once again, I just want to reiterate, I used to get flack for not like giving hate on shows. I've actually gotten a couple of comments that I'm being too mean to She-Hulk. Which, for the record, I did like the show. I want to be clear on that. And I love the people involved. Like, the cast is great. It's just some of the writing was bad. And I hope a season 2 can show some improvement. Although if they do a season 2 and that ends up sucking, I probably will be like, yeah, maybe just not another She-Hulk thing. Maybe just let her pop up in the other movies.
Yeah.
But that is our review of She-Hulk, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to do our plugs now, and let's start with Cher. You get to be first for plugs this time.
Yay! Because I wasn't in last week's episode. Woo! Yay! Ooh. Ooh. Ugh, why am I so tired? So, hello everybody. My name is Charisse. I have a Twitter and a Facebook. It should just be my first and last name. I have 2 YouTube channels. My second YouTube channel is just me uploading random videos that definitely has some copyrighted music. That's another reason why I want to create my other second channel, was in case that channel gets terminated. At least I have my first channel, my first original channel. So my second channel, Share Your Creations. My first channel is Share from 2000. There's 2 underscores. And yeah, so we are doing our top 10 Disney villains. I have just done my female Disney villains last week. I am currently working on the male Disney villains, and I'll be completely honest, I already told Jack and Neil about this. This was very hard for me. I'm more female eccentric, not to say I don't like any of the guys, but it was a lot easier for me to pick out my favorites of the females than the guys, because there's so many guy villains, and then there's some that there's like so many fan favorites. Like, look at my shirt here. I have like Jafar and Scar and Hades, and yes, all 3 of them were definitely on my list. Spoilers. But yeah, so if I don't sound as enthusiastic in my male villains, I apologize. Don't hate on me for that. You can always watch my female list if you don't like the male list. So hopefully I can get it out by Halloween. I currently got a job. I don't know when I'm going to start, but I did record at least half of my video for the males list. So I might finish the rest of it either today or more likely tomorrow, because my parents are going out for their anniversary, so that gives me plenty of time to be on my own. So I might do it that way. Not too sure about upcoming videos. It just depends on my work schedule whenever I start working. But I will say I want to do my own thoughts on Aladdin, because it's the 30th anniversary. On November 11th, 1992, that's when it came out. The animated, not the live action. We kind of already did the live action. And Rise of the Guardians. We did Rise of the Guardians like 2 years ago, but I want to have my own thoughts, because it's my favorite DreamWorks movie, and I'm still mad at DreamWorks that they're not giving that movie another chance. I don't care if you got to fire half of your workers. I blame advertising. It's advertising. Why would you have poor advertising and then you're going up against the first Wreck-It Ralph movie? Like, that's like a lose-lose situation there. But anyways, I'll try to figure out whatever. So for now, enjoy my female Disney villains. Again, hopefully I can get my male Disney villains up soon. I apologize again if I'm not as enthusiastic in that video, but at least I have my shirt, so at least I have some type of representation. So there you go.
Alrighty. Jack, it is time for your plugs.
Sure. Hello, everyone out there on the internet. I am Jack of All Trades. Find me Jack of All Trades on YouTube. Finished JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6, the second part. Eventually. The videos aren't all up, but I've recorded them all. I'm in the process of editing them all. I'm just editing them all back to back and then uploading them as soon as they're finished, just to get this over and done with. It's been such a slog because I have just had a lot of life stuff going on. But that was a great binge, just going through the last few episodes, because man, is JoJo's good. So I'm looking forward to finishing editing those and getting those up for you. Along with them, in the next week, because we are almost at the end of October, my top 10 favorite Disney villains video will be coming out as well. That is all recorded. I am just editing that. So that should be up within a week of this video going live. Maybe within a week of us recording this. It depends how long it takes for this to go out on this channel.
It blows my mind, Jack.
Definitely before the end of the month, my 10 favorite Disney villain list will come out. And then in the long term, videos are probably going to take a bit of a slow down a little bit as we come through November, December. But I'm hoping to go back to doing consistent uploads because I'm already a few weeks behind. My Hero Academia Season 6 has already started. I think there's 3, maybe 4 episodes out at the time we're recording this. So I'm going to speed through to catch up. And then week to week, we'll be covering that show again, sort of get me back into the rhythm of covering these shows before, Attack on Titan is going to be next year, and I'm going to lose my fucking mind when that show ends, so I need to prepare for when that starts airing, and then the inevitable void in my soul.
And everybody should check out Jack's Disney villain list. It's very unique and intriguing.
Also checking my list as well. I have yet to have any comments or any likes. I'm desperate. I'm just kidding.
The reason I bring up Jack's is because we talked about it before stream, and it blows my mind a little bit that you included the Joker as your number 1, considering he is a DC supervillain. But I respect it. Bold choice. Honestly,
check out our videos. Let's check out all of our videos, please. I'm looking for some inspiration, so please tell me what other things I should discuss.
Everybody just take a minute, say a little prayer, and then go over to Cher's channel and comment random shit.
Please, please. It would really make my day, because honestly, I've been having a lot of mental breakdowns, mainly with anxiety and a little bit of depression, but mostly anxiety. And also, my dad's been going through a lot of stuff. I don't mean to bring anything personal, but he was in a car crash. It's been really tough for me and my family. And another reason why I like making videos is to lift up my spirits. And so I am very bonkers and I am very happy. I'm just trying to let this emotions out, because I'd rather let them out than keep them bottled in. So I would love to hear your guys' thoughts on your stuff and kind of give me a little, say, hey, you did great. Even if you don't like the video, at least it's something I can kind of work on. So,
compliment her devil horns. Tell her how cool she looks in the devil horns. I think YouTube and video making in general is a great outlet for when people want to express themselves in creative ways and maybe distract from bad things. So everybody go check out Cher and compliment her about her fucking devil horns. And speaking of going in places and checking people out.
Oh, so one more thing. I dressed up for you guys in my female villains. I dressed up for you guys, so come on. I dressed up for you guys.
Well,
you're welcome.
Speaking of going places and checking things out, hi there, I'm Dr. Neiltopus. You can find me on Twitch. We just streamed Slender, which, I gotta be real, that might be one of my funniest streams I've ever done.
I watched it even though I was terrified.
I don't know what was with me that night, but I found the concept of a game where the entire, game and the, shots of the game are done by the main character filming things from a camera kind of funny. Because I kept running up to stuff and being like, this is my vlog, look at the grass! I had a lot of fun with that game, but we are still streaming it. The next stream of Slender will probably be either tonight or tomorrow on the days of filming, which today for us it is Saturday, tomorrow will be Sunday. But definitely head over there because if you'll notice in that stream I did, I was talking to the chat a lot. And if you head over to the Twitch stream and leave a comment and say something, you are now a mortally part of my video because I will mention you in it. And if you don't want to watch Twitch, fair enough. Just stick around here. We'll upload some of the VODs. We've got my list for the Disney villains coming up. I have thought about maybe doing another review show just for random shit I've been watching on Netflix, because I've been watching a lot of random shit on Netflix, and I gotta be real, it's pretty damn good. But, you know, stick around. We're not dead. We're gonna keep making stuff. And yeah, life has kind of been getting in the way of video making a little bit. That's why the She-Hulk series kind of became once every 2 weeks instead of once a week. But, you know, we don't really have a schedule anymore. There's not a show coming out every week, so we can just cover whatever the fuck we want, whether that be going back and redoing Marvel stuff or...
Rescue Rangers. We were talking about Rescue Rangers. Come on, I bought a shirt just for that review.
We have a list. We will get to it, but first we gotta do Halloweeny shit. Because if you don't do Halloweeny shit in October, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, wait, how are we gonna do Halloween stuff? It's only 9 days as of this recording. We got 9 days left of Halloween until
I
Halloween.
will figure it the fuck out, man.
Because I know you said you wanted to do Werewolf by Night and then Hocus Pocus 2, but that's gonna be like after October.
We're gonna figure it out, man. Maybe we'll do 2 in 1 week. Who knows? We've done that before. But yeah. Leave in the comments what you would like to see us do and what you would like to see on the channel in general. I do like getting feedback, even though I am very sassy to my viewers. But yeah.
If anyone likes to go see that's why I say share your thoughts. I always say that in my videos, share your thoughts, even if it's negative and you hate it. I love to hear your guys' input, so maybe I can always improve in the next. But Neil can be a-hole too, whatever. I just like to show respect.
Hey, that's my brand. You know, I like how when I'm in these reviews, I'm kind of like the cocky character, but like when I'm in my streams, I swear to God, I'm just like, I'm just another guy, man. I'm a human. I'm making jokes. But that is the end of this episode. So if we don't have a joke or anything to end on, we can end it right here. Anybody got a joke?
So is Jack Kevin?
I mean, I want to say no, but the closest thing he has to a name tag is that hat, and...
Does he work for Kevin?
I made this hat, like, 5 minutes before we started recording. There's another piece of paper with something else written in Sharpie stuck under this one.
Oh, I never noticed.
What does that say?
It's from a Five Nights at Freddy's cosplay.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll end on that. Why the fuck not? Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Security Kevin.